Several former Transnet executives have been arrested this morning by the NPA's investigating Directorate and Hawks. They are expected to appear in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court, but eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu joins us now from the Palm Ridge Specialised Crimes Court to give us more details. Manqoba, good morning to you, colleague. What can you tell us about a breaking story today, that arrest of former executives, but also understanding that they will be appearing in court this morning?
Well, certainly, Tumelo. In fact, there was a statement released by the NPA's investigating Directorate just, saying that they have made several arrests this morning of former Transnet executives. And we do understand that these former executives were handed over by their lawyers. Of course, at this particular point, Tumelo, we cannot name them due to the fact that they have not appeared in court. But what the NPA is saying at this particular point is that they were arrested in conjunction with the Hawks this morning. And they're expected, of course, to appear here at this particular court, the Specialized Crimes Court, alongside 6 other suspects that are also expected to be appearing here in this particular court. They include the 3 former Transnet executives, Mngama, who was its CFO at the time, the former acting CFO, Gary Peter, and the former group treasurer, Petulo Ramasebudi, as well as 3 businessmen, Eric Wood, who was Regiment Capital's shareholder, and his employee, Daniel Roy, and Kuben Mudli, who is also a known Gupta associate and the owner of Albertime, which is one of the companies that had been linked to a number of money laundering schemes on behalf of the Guptas. And they are facing charges of contravening the Public Management Finance Act, fraud, as well as money laundering, amongst others. And this really relates to a 93 million rand payment that was made to Trillion for organizing a 30 billion rand loan to help buy 1,064 locomotives from a Chinese company back in 2014. But it was allegedly a double payment that was made to Transnet, or to regiments rather, given that it had not done any of the work at that particular point. And what we do understand, Tumelo, is that the arrest follows the findings by the State Capture Commission, which recommended that the former CFO of Mngama, Brian Molefe, and Anonch Singhs, among others, be investigated for a litany of transgressions ranging from racketeering, corruption, fraud, as well as money laundering. And we do, however, understand that there are other people that have been named in that affidavit, which the state relied on when building this particular case. And we do know that the NPA's investigating Directorate has indicated that there are more arrests that could follow. And of course, we are aware now that there have been 3 more arrests that have been made this morning. So we are expecting them to appear as well here when this matter is heard in court at 9 o'clock.
Just for clarity's sake, Manqoba, what charges do these former executives then face?
Well, what you do understand, Tumelo, is that they are facing quite a number of charges, and among those charges is for contravening the Public Finance Management Act, as well as charges of fraud, money laundering and racketeering. And of course, you recall that during the state capture report that was issued by Chief Justice Zondo, he had gone into lengths about the charge of racketeering, which you know that is not, part of, it doesn't appear when it comes to some of the priority crimes in the country, but just listing some of the, the charges and some of the activities that they had been engaged in, saying that the charge of racketeering comes about from those particular, activities that they've been engaged in, which include, of course, a lot of transactions that happened between these 3 companies, where a lot of money was laundered through those, particular activities or through those particular transactions that had occurred. So we do know that they will be facing those particular charges, but added to that also, we do understand there might also be a charge of corruption, which we know that will form part of those charges that the state intends to put on them. But of course, they're not also ruling out at this particular point that more charges could be added to the charge list. But at this particular moment, we do know that more people could be arrested as far as this particular matter is concerned.
All right, we'll leave it there, colleague, and I appreciate you, of course, giving us this update on our breaking news this morning that former executives from Transnet have been arrested, expected to appear at the Palm Ridge court this morning. Manqoba Mchunu for us on that story.